Hi guys, welcome to my video. If this is the very first time you're watching a video on my channel, I want to say thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I want to say that if this really is your first video, you should probably watch my previous video because this is a continuation of that. And I'm gonna be making my videos from now on in two parts. First part we teach a concept, we teach a certain part of whatever we're learning, and then the next part we're gonna go over and do projects and exercise. And this is the exercise and projects part, right? So if you haven't watched my previous video, then go and watch that. Now, if you have watched it, in this video, we're gonna be actually taking everything that we've learned in our previous video, all these elements, and we're gonna be making a project with them. And you're looking at the project right now. But yeah, with that said, let's get right into it. But before that, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, so I can make more of these videos as fast as possible, and make sure to turn on notification for, because YouTube doesn't work right. It sometimes tells you when I upload the video, sometimes it doesn't tell you. So definitely make sure to turn on notification and leave a comment down below, what you thought. And if you had any trouble, anything like that, I would be more than happy to help you with any questions that you might have in the comment section, or anything you didn't understand in this video. Right? So with that said, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Okay, so for our project, we have this text right here. I took this from the first page of the David Goggins wiki page, right? So we have this text right here. It's not that long, just 2 lines. And what we're gonna do is that here's the text in its original form, right? So this is what it looks like. As you can see, there is some formatting here. For example, this is bold, and this is a link. And we're gonna first of all use this text for learning formatting and practicing it. And then after that, we're gonna use try to find a different lines for quoting, right? But for now, for quotation. But for now, let's just use this right here for formatting. Yes, nothing too long. You should be able to do this pretty easily. First, I'm just gonna take the text right here and put it over there, and then take the code. Okay, so I've created an index, and let's just start coding. First of all, we want to make it kind of like the original page, but we want to also add some of our own formatting, since it doesn't use all the formattings that we learned in the previous video. For example, the most obvious one right here is this David Goggins, which is in bold, right? So let's do that. Let's go to our body, and let's write. First of all, let's create a paragraph, right? That's the first thing you want to do, because we're going to put all of this in a paragraph. Then we want to take this David Goggins on here, copy it, put it in here, and then put a bold next to it, the B element. And then cut that and put it over here. Next we're gonna look at the page, and you can see that this section is in. Okay, so we're just gonna copy and paste this part until an American, right? So let's just take this, all of this, and an American, and we're gonna put it right here. So next thing, as we saw in the original, and then we're gonna put a space. As we saw in the original web page, the ultra marathon part is a link, right? Because you can see it has an underline, and it's obviously the A element. Let's just copy this link, right? And let's just create an A element. Now let's put the link over here, and then take the ultra marathon and put it inside the link. So now we have used that. Next, let's see what we got in the original web page. Let's make some alterations while we're at it. For example, I'm looking at this. I want to make this a United States Navy SEAL. Instead of making it a link, we're gonna make this a strong. We're gonna use the strong and the U element. So let's just do that. Where is the Navy SEAL part? It ends. Okay, so this is the Navy SEAL part. So let's just copy and paste the rest of it for now, like this, and then put it over here. Okay, so as we can see right here, we have our line end right here, right at the dot. So what we want to do is move on to the next line. Now, how do we do that? If you watch my previous video, you already know how we do this. We just put a BR at the end of it. Right, so let's go ahead and just put a BR element right here, and that should end our line. Now let's just save this. Okay, so let's take a look at our code again. So here we are, we put BR at the end of it, and now we ended this part. Now we want to still be in the same paragraph because our text is, so we're just gonna move on to the next line and see what we got here. Right, so he is a retired. So if you go back to the actual page that we were trying to make our formatting like, we just take this part as it is. You know, just take the normal text and copy it. He is retired, like that, and just put it over here. But for the United States Navy SEAL part, right? So let's just do some formatting for this one. Now let's look at some of the stuff we learned in our previous video, right? So let's go over here and look. We already used the A element and BR and B and P element, right? So let's use I right here, right? Let's use the I element because we want to make it italic. So let's go ahead and put I, and then just take the text, or we can just take it from here too. Copy it and put it in our code. So now let's just save that and let's run the website and see what it looks like actually. So what we've made so far. Okay, so we see that the United States Navy SEAL part is in italic. Now I did mention in my previous video that the italic is supposed to be used for when something is from another language or something like that. This isn't the case here, but we could also use this use a styling to make it look like this. But for now, let's just move on and use this. This is primarily to show this. This is for a project. You don't have to be that exact specific. So let's see what we have for this. Okay, so here's the thing. This part right here, this is a mouthful, obviously. United States Air Force, blah 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 blah. So let's just take this and make it an aberration. Now, how do we do this? First of all, let's just get rid of this part. Let's just put this inside our code. Right. Okay. No help. Right here. And now, how do we make a short version of it? We can just use an aberration. We go for this abbr. So let's do that. And for the title, screw this up. Okay, here we go. Let's just take that, put it in the title so we can, and then we'll go and okay, so we just wrote a short version for whatever this is, all of this is, and we just made it an aberration. Now that's not how it looks like in the original site, but it's okay. We're making our version, and this site doesn't use all the formatting elements that we learned in our previous video anyway, right? So it's okay. We just try to make a short version of this, and we save it. And if we go and run the site, you can see right here that if I move my mouse over and hover it, you can see it says wait, let us load it again. United States Air Force Tactical Air Control. Okay, so another one of the elements that we learned in the previous video was the small element. Now, technically, it doesn't really make sense to make anything small in this text right here, but we're just gonna make the who small to just to use all of our elements that we learned. So if we go to the text member who, okay, so let's just take this part right here, go to our code, copy and paste it, and let's just take the how do we make it small? We just write small. That's it. That's pretty much it, and just put the who inside of it, like that. And let's put a space there and save in the Iraq war. So here's what I want to do, guys. This part is serving that part doesn't matter. Served in the. So let's just get rid of that. Serve in the. And copy it and put it in here. Right, so here's what we want to do. Let's just go and look at the elements that we learned in the previous video. We use a small, we use aberration. We haven't used a strong, I believe, not yet, and we haven't used emphasis, right? So we're going to use both of those for this text, for this part of our text, the Iraq war. Alright, so let's just take okay, before we do that, let's just write our elements. Strong, so it's bold now. And again, it doesn't matter because it doesn't have to be the same that it is in the actual text on the wiki page. We're just making our own version of it. And we're gonna use EM for emphasis, because why not? And we're gonna put the Iraq war inside it. So simple. And let's just save that. Let's take a note of our project again. And yes, so it's in bold now. And as we can see, our who is in small. It's a lot smaller than the other text, than the normal text we have right here. And the Iraq war is in small and it's emphasized. Of course, the emphasis doesn't actually have any, physical look to it. It just emphasizes the Iraq war. And I talked about it in my previous video too. Now let's move on and see what else we got on our site. Iraq war dot his self-help memoir. Okay, so let's just look at our previous elements again. use the aberration, we use small, we use strong. We don't want to use quotes and block quote right now. We use BR, we use P, we use emphasize, we use strong, we use underline, we use italic. And yeah, guys, I think we just pretty much use all of them. But anyways, let's just end this while we're at it. His self-help memoir. Okay, so let's just take that. And put a comma there. Let's take the rest of this. Let's just make this can't hurt me part in italic, because you know, why not? So let's just go I and then put it over there. And as for the rest of it, you know, let's just copy and paste this part over here. And let's save that. And let's run our page. His self-memoir, there we go. You know, can't hurt me is in italic, kind of like the actual site. By the way, guys, here's something that's not super related to this part. If you're using Chrome, and other browsers have this too, right? If you're using Chrome, you can go to the, I believe, more tools and then developer tools, and you can actually see the code that's written for the site. You know, for example, here's all of the code, and so this is the HTML part. And if you move this up here, this is the styling part. It's already the styles. This is, you know, the CSS part. So yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, obviously you're not gonna understand all of this right now, and I don't even understand all of this either, if I'm being completely honest. Especially if this, you know, click on them and you see what's inside of them, because there's a lot of nested stuff going on here, as you can see. Right, but I want to just show these guys, show this to you guys. I thought it might be interesting. Okay, so for the quotation part of our video, we just have some random quotes right here from, you know, famous people, and we're gonna be making a normal quote with a Q element and then a block quote. Now, I already talked about the difference between those and you know, how they work in my previous video, but yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and do that. First of all, we're gonna make our normal quote. You know, we're gonna take this, the guy who said it. The guy who said it, Jesus. We're gonna move it over here. Let's make it a paragraph. Now, you already know why I'm making this a paragraph and then putting the Q inside it, but you know, in case you don't know, watch my previous video. So let's just put that over here. You know, make something like this, and then let's use the Q. Let's put the actual text inside of it. And I'm gonna show something else after this, but yeah, for now, let's just do this. Let's save it. Okay, it actually looks pretty cool now. Let's go ahead and run it and see we are, you know, Coco Channel. Success most of FG, but people don't know what that failure is inevitable, right? So simple. Here's something interesting I want to show you guys. You know, if you have like okay, so when you want to quote something, you definitely want to use Q or block quote for quoting, right? Because on top of, you know, actually that's, you know, what their function is, and you know, it makes it actually puts them inside the code. You know, if you see a code like this and you want to just, you know, put it inside your code, you know, just have this on your side like this, just copy this and go over here and let's use pre. And if you don't know what pre is, it basically takes the text that you put inside of it, and it shows that text in the exact way that, you know, you've used it. Right? For example, if you go and research, we can see that, you know, if you go and reload our web page, it's the exact code, right, that you put inside it. It's the exact text, right? But you don't want to do this. You know, why do you not want to do this? Because it's a code. You know, the site can tell it's a code, and because of this, you know, if Google and other people want to find something that's, you know, related to that code, they can, you know, the Google can tell that this is a code, and your website can tell that this is a code. So it's important that you definitely don't do this, right? I'm just showing you can do this, but you don't want to do this, right? So if you want to use the quote, you want to quote something, just use Q and block quote. Now something else, you know, we want to take a larger, you know, a couple of lines like this one right here, right? Let's take this and okay, by this guy. Let's take this and make this a quote. Now here's the difference. This time I'm not using a P or paragraph, right? Because I don't need to. Because why? Because block quotes are not in line like Q is. So let's just put it inside it, and let's go ahead and do that. Or actually, yeah, this is good. This works. Actually, let's just take all of this and make it like this. You know, let's go. I have on it. Let's just take all of this, copy, remove this part, put it inside, save, rerun. And as you can see, there's a little space between it, so it's not on the same line as other text we've written before. And that's it for our quotation. Okay, guys. So now before we finish the video, here's a little exercise for you guys. I just Google the HTML exercises for practice, and the very first site that showed up was this right here. And I did this a couple of days ago, and I want you guys to do it as well. I want you to go over here and start the HTML exercise, and I want you to go to the section we talked about in this video, the formatting section. I want you to take these exercises, right? Now here's the thing, and these aren't too complicated, these aren't too hard, and I'm sure you can handle them. But here's the but, right? And I've already done this myself, as you can see right here. But if you don't know the answer to something, you don't have to waste too much time. You can just click right here, show the answer, and see it, right? Now let's look at this. For example, this one, it has the strong element, and this one has the EM, right? I'm not gonna go over them because I don't want to ruin it for you guys. I want to actually seriously take these two exams and give it all you got. But with that said, if you don't know the answer to something, it's okay. You're just starting to learn HTML. You have to be patient with yourself. It's okay if you don't memorize everything on your first try. The stuff that I'm talking about to you guys right now, the HTML stuff that I'm teaching you guys right now, I started learning this, about 6 months ago, actually, right? So it's okay. I just now feel like I have this stuff memorized because I've just repeated it so many times, right? So that's the thing you guys have to remember, right? It's just you have to repeat and repeat and repeat and over. You have to watch these videos over and over again, and you have to do exercises and exams and projects over and over again. And by doing this over the next couple of months, you're gonna actually be able to learn HTML and other things that we're gonna be learning in order to become a developer. So be patient. Give it all you got. You don't have to be too punishing on yourself, right? And you don't have to be late. I don't want you guys to be lazy. Just go over ahead, and if you wait for something and think for something for like 2 seconds and then you can't figure the answer and just don't show answers. I don't want to see that, right? So go ahead, take this exam. It's really simple and nothing complicated, and you can do it with what you've learned so far. And yeah, that's it. And I hope you guys are successful, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, so something that I forgot to mention was that some of the stuff that's in these exams and these exercises, I should say, I didn't actually teach you. For example, this one right here, it says use the BDO element, right? But don't worry, guys, it's super simple. All you have to do is just go to Google and type what does BDO do in HTML? All right. And the first thing that shows up is actually the site that we're using, and you can see that it shows you examples. You can try it for yourself, for example, and it shows you what the result looks like. It gives you more detail on the definition and the usage. We try to cover as many things we try to cover as many things as possible, but we can't cover every single element and talk about every single attribute in every video. So here's the thing. Some of the things that you're gonna encounter in these exams, in these exercises, and after you watch my videos in the other exercises that you find in other websites, they're not gonna be things that I've talked about in my video, and that's okay. That's natural. That's a part of coding in general. You have to just accept this, that you're not gonna know everything, but and that's fine, because you can just Google stuff like that and just figure out what they do. It's super simple. And then maybe if you just Google it and you forgot about it tomorrow, well, it's okay. Next time you wanna, what did the exercise say? Make the text go from right to left. Just type in Google, how to make text go from right to left in HTML, and it's super simple. It just shows you. It shows you right here, right? So yeah, nothing too complicated, nothing to worry about. Super easy stuff. You shouldn't expect everything to be hand-holdy and expect your learning process to be very smooth. You're gonna encounter stuff that you don't know, and it's okay. You can just Google stuff. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching till the very end. And I want to say that I want to ask you guys to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you had any troubles or any problem with this video. And definitely don't forget to like, since it helps out the video a ton. It's a great way to support me. And turn on notifications, since YouTube doesn't work right. We all know that it just sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. And with that said, thank you so much. Thank you so much to guys and all the new subscribers and new people who watched my previous video. And I hope I don't disappoint you. And I'm gonna give it all I got and try to upload videos a lot more consistently from now on. With that said, that's the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. And I'll see you guys next time.